Ooh, you didn't tell me you were a brainiac.
Welcome to Leather Brains, your host here, Slapdog, and it is going to be a heck of an episode because I am joined by my two very great co-hosts, Alan Casanova Castro and Scotty Del Rey. And today, we are going to be bringing you some NFL conversation, baby. Not only that, but we're going to round it out at the end of the episode with some bandwagons. We're going to be chatting about some bandwagoning potentials this season for the three of us. So I'm excited to talk about that. But before we get to that point, as I mentioned, we do have some news here to cover to keep all you dirty old nasty brainiacs covered in what is happening in the NFL. So we will start with this. The Super Bowl reigning champions, not the Chiefs, but the Eagles, will face off against the Cowboys to start the 2025 NFL season on September 4th. Don't care about this game at all. Why would you headline this game as like the start of the NFL season? Like, I'm going to be watching it because I'm so eager for NFL football that I would watch the Titans and the Patriots play like it's a Super Bowl for the first game because I'm so desperately in need of NFL football, but not excited about this game. It's just like, okay, the Eagles are going to roll. The Eagles are going to run it.
No,
they're going to roll.
First of all, first game of the season, literally anything can happen. Nobody's played football in like a billion months. And second of all, it's a rivalry game. That also is, they tend to be, when you have these rivalry games, sort of anything can happen. I don't know. I think it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of good storylines. I mean, the NFL wants the Cowboys to be a thing very desperately.
So
they
bad.
have not been a thing for a very long time other than just the coverage they get, incessantly. Otherwise, they're a middle-of-the-road team, with not really big Super Bowl aspirations, but they so desperately want them to be, and I get it. So that's why the eyes are on it. I think from the Eagles' perspective, it'll be interesting. How do they come out, after winning the Super Bowl? You come out next year. Everybody forgets once you win the Super Bowl, everybody kind of forgets how you got there. And then it's just like, you're just the best team. And I think that's what's super interesting because the Chiefs have dealt with this, for a couple of years where it's like, oh, they're just the best team. It's like, yeah, a lot has to go right for you to get there. So interesting to see if they'll, how they come out and play that game. But by and large, this has to just be because they want the Cowboys. This has to be like a PR Cowboys move for the NFL.
Jerry's
wanting
been
this to happen.
knocking on Goodell's door and all offseason being like, we better be the first team. We are the Cowboys. We're America's team. We better be the first team. This is a side note, but the Cock, and I'm not talking about mine, I'm talking about Peacock, will feature a primetime game on week 17 of the NFL season. Yet another streaming service that is requiring your subscriptions to watch NFL football. I'm kind of sick of it, boys. I'm kind of sick of it.
We got to be used to it at this point, though.
I know, but it sucks because it's like all it is and I get it. I get it from like a media standpoint for these different streaming services because it's now your streaming platform is going to get a bunch of subscriptions for it. It's just yet another subscription.
All this means is we're going back to where we came from. We broke away
100%.
from cable TV, and then everything was on streaming. It was like, oh, this is cool. I get to pick what I want. It's like $10, and then everything's like bundling back together. And somebody's gonna be like, oh, I got you a sports streaming bundle where you have Peacock, you have your ESPN, and you're just like, damn it, we're back where we started. I'm buying cable packages again.
Yeah, 100%. So not excited about it.
Make fun of all the old people for like, oh, you used to watch cable. You used to watch cable, no internet. That's crazy. And now it's like, yeah, welcome to the past.
I'm actually glad you brought this up because I think about when Scotty and I were in high school. This was sophomore year of high school, and I remembered like reading an article about streaming services and how this. And I don't remember who wrote it, but it predicted all of it. They're like, what is essentially going to happen is this is all just going to turn back into cable TV where you're just subscribing to all these different things, and it's going to be the same price as cable TV, but it's going to look new and different for everybody, but it's the same thing.
Everybody wants their money. It'll take them a while to figure it out. I remember when I convinced Chrissy when we were looking at cable, because here we have Cox, and it's like astronomically
not to be
expensive.
confused with Peacock.
Not Peacocks.
Yeah.
Cox Communications.
Yes.
Awful.
Ass.
So they have so we had cable through them. And then we got a dish, and then everything just kept going up. We're like, this is dumb. I was like, Christy, we're going to stream. We got good internet. We're just going to start streaming. And she was like, okay. And at first she was against it, but then we realized we don't really watch a ton of live TV. It's just sports. It's
Just
literally sports is the only reason I have live television. I'm knee deep in the NBA playoffs. I love the NBA, so I've been watching a lot of NBA. So it's super nice to have. But first one we had was Sling TV.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is bebopped around. I think YouTube TV is probably the best one right now. I guess
100%. But YouTube TV's also gone up by like 98%.
it's so stupid.
It's crazy.
It's so stupid. Much like my cell phone, still I'm on a YouTube family plan. So, everybody does what they got to do.
You do what you got to do, but it's all about the bundles and the packages, and it would appear as if it's going to be no different this upcoming NFL season. All right, the Chiefs Chargers. Gentlemen, you will most likely, I can't say definitively, but I'm going to say most likely not be in attendance for this game as it is located in Brazil.
Matt's Brazilian. You're going to visit back home?
We can maybe do a podcast episode from Brazil to start the season if you guys want to all fly out there.
Yeah, let me see if it's in the budget. And we might. I don't really want to go to that game. I'm going to be honest with you. But maybe out of your guys' portion of the budget, we can see if we can make something work.
The last time they went to South America, weren't there a bunch of headlines about how they told all the NFL players not to leave their hotels because they might get shanked?
Yeah, Brazil especially. That was the Olympics. Remember they were telling all the athletes, it was during the Brazil Olympics too is where it started, where they're like, don't go anywhere. Just go to your
Like, why?
events.
Why are we doing this? We're like,
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if Brazil is technically a third world country, but when you have to warn all of your athletes who are traveling down there for an event, like not to leave or you might die, like why are we doing this? Like, why don't we just stay in the United States or go to Europe or something where you don't have to worry about that as much?
Well, here's a thought. We get one of the players not murdered, but severely injured.
Okay, I'm listening.
And it's not like an A-list, not like a Patrick Mahomes, although the impact would be significant.
Yeah.
Well, no, but like,
why would you say that out loud?
Well, hear me out. You get one of these players injured, then there's going to be so much media backlash that they stop doing silly things like this.
Okay,
And
which player on the Chargers would you have kneecapped?
I don't know. A lot of the Chargers players. I wouldn't want to do none of the offensive players for sure. Maybe like Cameron Dickerson, like their kicker. Just somebody that doesn't.
No kicker should have a nickname. Dicker the kicker.
Yeah,
that's how you know your franchise is down bad when you got nicknames for your kicker.
Yeah, I don't want to hinder the offense just in case I have any of them for fantasy football. So, and I don't play with kickers, so Cameron's on the table. And I think that would still make headlines. Like it's gotta be a player that is big enough that it's gonna be impactful. If it's like the third string, like left tackle, it's barely gonna get media coverage. But if it's somebody like the kicker,
were the Eagles Packers? Was that the one that was in Brazil to start last year?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's the one Jordan Love got injured in.
Yeah. So
we don't want to do it to like a now. If it was somebody like a Jordan Love or a Justin Herbert, I think they would shut down most of that for the foreseeable future. Yeah. So we really got to pick our battle here. Like, do we want to go for the top, the A-list guy, or do we want to just pick somebody who's news and noteworthy but isn't gonna like shut down the franchise?
Well, okay, I'm gonna say something right now.
Okay,
this is gonna sound it's probably it's gonna be effed up or racist. One of the two.
That's not gonna be racist. What do you think I'm gonna be racist? No. I'm saying, if it's going to stop it forever, you could make the argument that there's a greater good situation going on here.
Yeah, no.
So
that's what I was saying about it.
Also, we're talking about a division rival of my boys. So maybe we just go ahead and take out Justin Herbert's kneecaps.
Oh, that'd be so sad. Because then he'd have an arm. What do you say, like skin bag for an arm? What did you say last year?
He did have
his arm, the old skin bag,
bag arm, and no knees. It'd be down bad back-to-back seasons.
Yeah, but then they wouldn't have him, and they would definitely either up their security and or just say, hey, maybe this isn't the safest thing for our players.
Yeah, I don't know how we feel about overseas games. I like when they're in Europe because it's kind of nice waking up early on Sunday.
Yeah,
and there's just like a game warming you up. It's just like the appetizer. You know, nothing real serious is going on. It's like Trevor Lawrence is throwing a couple picks and people are running around in circles. You're like, that's a good way to start my Sunday. And then before the real game starts. So I like that. I don't know how much I like my team doing it because the Chiefs played in Germany. Was it a couple of seasons ago? They played the Dolphins, I think, in Germany.
Yeah,
is that what it
Dolphins.
was? I don't mind it. The NFL is just going to keep doing this, though. Like we talked about it last episode, they're going to do a draft overseas at some point. Like we're slowly inching our way. There's been rumors of a team going overseas, every year now, and so it's like at some point this is going to happen. It's whatever. I mean, this Brazil game, it's going to be on what Eastern time zone, so it's not going to really matter. It's just more for the teams. It's just, and it's the Chargers that lose the home game, so I don't really care.
More power to them. We're talking about hurting Justin Herbert. Let's talk about a quarterback who is no longer an NFL quarterback because he's been hurt, and that is Saints former quarterback Derek Carr has announced his retirement due to complications with his shoulder injury. I got a lot I want to say here, but really this boils down to congratulations to the Saints. Congratulations to the Saints. Look, Derek Carr is not a good quarterback. When they signed Derek Carr, I was like, "What are you doing? This is not going to help your franchise at all." I didn't, and I mean, obviously we saw all of it play out, but I could not believe that they signed Derek Carr because I didn't think he was the answer to any of their problems, and that obviously came true. But this just adds even more. What the fuck are the Saints? What are they Are they still considered an NFL team, or should we kind of talk about them as a collegiate team at this point? They are in such bad shape, and there is no optimism for the future. Tyler Shough, or I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's like
Tyler
Shough.
Tyler. It's Tyler not going to work here anymore.
Yeah. Might get his opportunity to shine. He's the rookie quarterback drafted this year by the Saints, and I mean, I laughed when I saw this because I was like, this is the most Saints thing to happen to the Saints that could happen, is their starting quarterback is now not their starting quarterback any longer.
They had to have known before the draft, right?
I don't know if they did, though.
It was.
I mean, why did he wait?
At least it was like in doubt.
Yeah, there was rumors swirling.
Maybe they didn't
already.
know, but it was in doubt.
There were lots of articles that were like claiming that Derek Carr wasn't actually injured and that he just wasn't happy with the Saints, and there was like a feud going on sort of behind the scenes because I guess the injury, his shoulder complications were announced by Derek Carr and his agent. It wasn't by like the team doctor or anything like that. Like they specifically came out and said it. So there were rumors of some turmoil going on over there anyway. And you can't really blame Derek Carr. I mean, struggling to stay healthy sucks enough. He's already got a lot of money, and what's he going to get out of playing for the Saints right now? Like they don't have a future, He
does have some pretty eyes. I know we've talked about this before, but I have a relative that played in NFL, and his departure was much like this, where he got a second opinion on something, and the team did not like that, and he started rehabbing it and getting surgery, and then it just slowly spiraled. And then he was gone. He was out.
I mean, a shoulder for a quarterback, like that's, I mean, it's not like your pinky toe, right? Like this is you. If you can't throw a football, you're done. Right?
Yeah, the Saints had front row seats to Drew Brees' arm deteriorating in front of their eyes. They've seen this story before. They're like, oh God.
Yeah, but it is kind of interesting, and I think it was Shefty that had tweeted this. And I couldn't find the tweet before we clicked record here, but I want to say they let Derek Carr like keep $30 million as like a kind of like a, not a thank you, but they just let him go with it. And I'm like, dude, you have no money to spend anyway. And you're like, fuck it. Like, let's just let the guy have his money. And it's just head scratching decisions by the Saints. And
for all of
they're
this,
in cap space purgatory.
Yeah, they are. But they still have some decent pieces to their team. I mean, it's not like all for nothing. They're not like completely barren. But yeah, it doesn't look great, especially when you don't know. Okay, I thought about
Dennis Allen has to be sweating.
Yeah, well, yeah. I thought about this. The future of that team at the quarterback position is currently not on that roster. And I feel pretty strong in being like, that sucks. Because if you're on that team and you're thinking of your future, you're basically like, there's no way in hell that the future of our team, or a successful future of our team, is on the roster currently at quarterback.
I have an idea, though, as a temporary solution, a Band-Aid solution. Saints trade 7th round pick to the Giants. They go get Laser Jameis. They bring Jameis home. Jameis isn't going to play this year. It's going to be probably Russell Wilson and then Jackson Dart at some point. take Laser Jameis, move him over here, put him back with the Saints. At least we have something to root for. Because I'm not going to be rooting for Tyler, whatever his last name is.
We'll go a step further. I like where you're going with this, Labs. We'll go one step further.
Okay.
The NFL signs Jameis Winston, not to a team. He's just all-time quarterback when a team needs a quarterback, and they just fly him to wherever he's needed. So, like, somebody goes down, NFL is just like, you can keep going with what you got, or we'll just bring in Jameis. Like, we'll bring in the consultant. And the team's like, yeah, you're right. And I feel like
it's a rental.
Yeah, so then if somebody else goes down later, like Jameis was warmed up with the Saints, and he's like, all right, guys, my time's
They pay him
here.
$2 million. The whatever NFL team pays the NFL $2 million per game if Laser Jameis plays more than 67% of the game. And every game they pay him $2 million, the NFL $2 million to rent Jameis Winston.
So it solves the NFL's problem from trying to protect quarterbacks because you'll always have a quarterback ready to go. So the NFL should sign a few. Like Jameis, just sign a couple guys.
Ryan
like
Fitzpatrick.
Gardner Minshew, and just
Also,
have the three of them, like
Scotty.
Yeah. Handoff. I wouldn't be able to throw it like 20 yards. I would just have to hand it off. I feel like my arm and elbow are shot. That'd be a good idea. So that's what the NFL should do. Sign three guys, keep them in rotation. When one of the franchises looks bleak, you'd be like, hey, we're bringing in the consultants.
Yeah.
Like, damn it, we fucked this
That's kind
up.
of a
Now
sick name for that group, though.
The consultants.
The consultants.
They always wear a suit with sunglasses, and they show up for game day.
They're
so
the
at
Men
this
in
point,
Black.
they're like they drafted Tyler Shough or whatever. They have Spencer Rattler and Taysom Hill or whatever, and so they're like, oh damn it, the consultants are going to come in. I just know it.
It's like the teams don't even get a choice. It's like the NFL just imposes that
They
upon
just
them.
kick down the door of the locker room.
It's like when
one day,
everybody
like,
votes that your
fuck.
quarterback, when your quarterback
consultants are here.
situation is dire enough, everybody's like, consultant time.
Yeah.
Consultants.
All right. It was announced late last week that former Steelers wide receiver George Pickens was traded to the Cowboys for a trade that included a 3rd and 7th round pick for Georgie and a 6th round pick. I mean, we were talking about the Cowboys, I want to say even just last episode, about how their wide receiver room was depleted. It was just CeeDee Lamb. Maybe Amari Cooper could make an appearance. So I would presume, and we're not going to know this, they probably had something working and had a pretty good inclination that they were going to end up with George Pickens, or maybe they had a couple deals floating for some wide receivers. But I think they knew that they were going to get a wide receiver of some caliber given the fact that they didn't draft one. But you know what? I gotta tip my hat to Mike Tomlin, because he manages to get out all the crazies at the very end and doesn't pay him. And it's kind of interesting if you look at the Steelers wide receiver room over the last few years, like it's been rough. It's been rough. They haven't signed anybody. I mean, they signed DK Metcalf with the trade, but any of the players that they've started with and drafted, they really haven't signed at the wide receiver position. You have Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Antonio Brown, now George Pickens, and there are a few others that I'm forgetting to mention here. But all those guys have kind of shown crazy. They have that archetype of crazy, and now they're not on the team, and they moved on from them. And so, and to kind of add more fuel to this fire, there was actually a social media post that it had appeared to be from George Pickens on an Instagram comment discussing the Steelers. This was the quote. They the cheapest organization. Ain't no stacking year after year. They gon' let them N-words go too soon as it's time. LMAO. George Pickens, he does deny this post. I do want to state that. He denies the post or the comment on this whatever Instagram post it was in, and claims it was someone using AI and or falsifying his name, and states that he's happy for everything that the Steel City did for him.
What a good cover.
Yeah. It's also worth noting Mike Tomlin he did once state that George Pickens needs to grow up. So, all's to say, was this a good move for the Cowboys, gentlemen?
Yes. They needed wide receiver help, and just on pure talent, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens is quite the duo.
See, I think the Cowboys fell victim to the old trick of when Mike Tomlin can't handle the wide receiver or playmaker, they get rid of him, and you realize what happened. And then the Cowboys fell into their cyclical trap of I can fix them, and we'll see who wins out here. But I'm guessing Dallas fell into Tomlin's trap once again.
You're saying Jerry Jones is like a 20-year-old girl who falls for the guy who just did like 6 months in jail for drug abuse.
Yeah, but he's kind of cute.
I can fix
He's kind of cute, so like I could work with it. I can fix that. And you're like, oh, damn it, that's really crazy. I don't know. I don't know if that's where they're going.
Well,
I could see
there's
Jerry
no.
Jones dating Pickens.
Yeah, he could mistake him for a girl.
He's already got all those dick pics in his phone.
That's
think.
true. That's a good point. Maybe he does swing on the other side of the fence. There has not been any news of a contract extension for Pickens alongside with this trade, though, which is kind of interesting in and of itself. I mean, we'll see what happens here in the not so distant future, but perhaps the Cowboys are saying this is a prove it kind of deal, and like we'll re-sign you if you prove your worth. Maybe
They got to test and see just how crazy he is.
Yeah.
They want
Like,
him
is the
endorsed.
crazy worth the?
They should give him.
the
They should give him good
contribution.
scenarios. Give him good scenarios. Like, all right, you see somebody dying on the side of the road. Do you A, help them, B, pee on them, C, tweet about and let him pick and just see. And if he fails that, then you just don't give him an
Oh, that'd
You
be
just
good.
give him an aptitude test. It's not even a physical.
But just like basic human stuff, like, do you punch this guy in the face or walk away? And he's like, I really should punch this guy in the face.
oh, he's
You go to
pissing
the
me
gro-
off, man.
You go to the grocery store and you realize you forgot to pay for an item. Do you go back in and pay for it, or do you throw yourself a fucking party over the free shit you just stole?
Yeah. I would do that.
I just didn't pay for this Snickers bar. I'm gonna eat it. Should the Steelers have gotten more than a third and a seventh for George Pickens, in your guys' opinion? Do you feel as if they were fleeced in some way here?
No, I think
it felt right.
That's
I
fair.
Because the real weight of this is the extension that you're going to have to give him. And that's
You don't have to.
No, you don't have to. The Steelers, I think it's probably more likely that Pickens ends up as an analyst for Antonio Brown's CT ESPN than he. I think that's where this is trending. I don't know. If he continues to have off the field stuff, he could find himself out of the NFL very quickly. Like, teams don't put up with that crap. Like, you just end up on the outside looking in an absolute
Look at all the
hurry.
Steelers wide receivers of late. I mean, that
it's
is a
tough.
story as old as time. Like, where
It's tough.
Chase
They'll put up
Claypool
with
at
it if
one
you're
time.
winning.
Yeah, if you're like a high contributor, then potentially yes. But like Chase Claypool went on a podcast, and this was a few years ago now, and claimed he was one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, and he was going to really show his worth when he was with the Bears. And where is Chase Claypool?
I don't even know.
He's not on any
I
NFL
don't know.
teams.
Sonic?
Oh.
Might be at Sonic, rollerblading around,
Yeah,
showing
handing
his.
out the slushies, the nerd slushies. That's probably
Dude,
what he's
yeah.
doing.
It's crazy that Sonic has rollerblading service.
I don't know if they still do that anymore.
Do they still
though.
do that?
They
Let me
used
look
to
it-
do
let me
it,
look
and
that up.
I remember at the
Well,
time thinking that's
Can
just such a
you
high risk
still-
situation. Like, your
Well-
margin for dollars that you're making at a place like that has got to be so low anyway, and you just have 50% of the meals you deliver dropped on the concrete.
Is anybody
Oh.
enamored when somebody skates by? They're like, oh shit, that guy's skating. This place
Yes.
rocks.
Sonic
Well,
drive-ins still utilize skating car hops, and you can indeed use rollerblades instead of roller skates. While some locations might prefer roller skates, many allow rollerblades for those who prefer them.
No level
No
of
shot.
rollerblading waitresses are going to make Sonic's food taste any less shitty. That's all I'm
I
gonna say.
actually don't mind Sonic
like where
food,
this is going.
but it does say
This is a great
some
topic.
some Sonic locations even have a program to certify skaters before they can work as a skating
Smart.
car hop.
They got to limit
Nice.
liability in case, like, if they put me on some rollerblades, I'd definitely get a concussion and I might die, and then
Yeah.
they're going to be sued.
I would say
Okay.
to bring this home, if they did skate, Chase Claypool would also be bad at that.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I didn't know this. This is, I know ESPN kind of tunes into the show. There's actually a Sonic Skate Off, which is an annual event that showcases the best skating car hops and demonstrates
No way.
that they're still part of the Sonic tradition.
Should we cover that live?
Oh, that's our next
I think
thing.
we should. That's
I
where
think
we're going to
so.
get our big break.
Sponsored
Sonic-
by Tony Hawk. Sonic Pro Skating.
Dude,
Oh
That'd be sick.
Christ!
We'll just need to see if we can get Chase Claypool.
We need
join
to go
us there.
back to this though, because I disagree with Scotty. I think Sonic serves a purpose. I think it's decent food for what you're getting.
I do think it's decent food.
here's what Sonic is. Let me explain this to you. Sonic's ice cream is fine. It's not
okay.
great, but it's fine.
Their
Their
ice is
food,
great.
their food.
Good eyes.
Okay, if you are a restaurant known for your fucking ice, that means you are lacking in every other department. This Sonic is a place that you go when you want to order a burger and you'd like the burger to drip grease all over the interior of your car before you even open it. And then when you eat it, it gives you explosive diarrhea and tastes like garbage. Like, it's just, there's nothing good about Sonic at all.
Well, don't
Okay.
tempt-
Okay,
don't tempt me
let's-
with a good time.
Let's do this. Who's better, Sonic or McDonald's? A burger.
Burger?
Strictly a burger.
Ooh, see?
I'd put them on the same, probably.
No, you got to pick
for
one.
burger.
You got to pick.
You got to
one.
pick one.
Where are you going
If
to
I'm
first?
getting a McChicken, McDonald's.
No,
if I'm
you're
getting,
getting a
If I'm getting a
cheeseburger.
burger, I'm going to Dairy Queen. I'm not going to
No,
Sonic.
you're going to Sonic or McDonald's.
You're really
You have
bad
to
at this
pick.
game. You're
Yeah.
really bad at this game.
You're making me pick something that are both terrible. Like, I'm
You're
not
like,
going to do it.
You got to pick between McDonald's and Sonic, and you're like, let's go to Stella's and get a
Yeah.
table. Like, that's not what we're saying.
No, that's not what we're saying at all.
Let's go to Stella's and get a bagel.
The answer is Sonic. Now,
I think they're probably the same. Flip a coin.
Okay, Burger King cheeseburger or Sonic, and I'm not
Burger
talking
King.
a Whopper,
Burger King.
just a cheeseburger.
Burger King
I still say
cheeseburgers
Burger
are
King's no
underrated.
I agree with
they're pretty
that.
good.
By the way, I
Their
actually
service
think
is
Burger
super
King-
slow, though. I don't know how they haven't figured that out.
I think it's just the one by you guys.
Every time I go. It's most of them now. I think it's part of their go-to-market plan. Is like, hey, this is gonna be really good, but let's make them wait forever.
Yeah,
This'll pay
it's all
off.
just customer service jobs. Like customer service, you go anywhere now, unless they're rollerblading to you, which in that case they might like you. But in most cases, the customer service people are angry at you for being there. They're like, "Oh, we have customers. Fuck that guy. I hate
Okay.
that guy."
This segment
just
went
want you to
totally off
leave.
the rails, but
It did.
we used to go to Red Robin a lot,
Yum.
and we went a few times since COVID. Awful. There's like one server. There's like 50 open tables, but there's a wait. That was the last time I went there with my parents, and it was like, hey, we're
Well,
on a 10-minute wait. And I
It's
looked
because
and I'm like,
nobody's going to Red Robin's. It's probably
there's
you who are
50
just keeping them in
million tables.
business.
Oh, dude, Red
You
Robin
pulled
was
up and they're like,
underrated.
"Fuck, we got to turn on the ovens. Somebody showed up."
They have my location on when I get close. They're like, hey, places, everybody.
Think Al's coming, and everybody turn the lights on.
Red Robin is just a Truman show for Alan. Just convince him that it's a real place to eat.
That I'll believe that one. It's like a make-a-wish thing for me. It's like, let's make them feel good.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Okay. It was a weird little tangent there about fast food. Last one, Wendy's or Sonic?
Wendy's.
Oh, Wendy's.
Okay,
Hands
I agree
down.
with that.
I
I agree
watched.
with
You guys might remember him, Johnny. We were actually going to Stella's. We were getting takeout from Stella's. Went in, ordered. It was gonna be like 20, 25 minutes. We drove down the street on Galvin to that Wendy's. He ordered 2 double cheeseburgers and ate them while he was waiting for his Stella's to come up. Then we got the Stella's and went home. That was one of the fattest things I've ever seen in my life.
So I can't wait
That sounds
25 minutes, motherfucker.
Need my cheeseburger. All right. Well, the Sanders hype train, gentlemen, is continuing at full steam ahead despite his decline in the NFL draft. Sanders, he's still getting a lot of press, which, he carries the name, he carries the position. It's going to continue to happen. And I think in some ways the NFL media is going to try and force the Browns' hands into at least starting him at some point during the season. And whether it's forced or not, because their quarterback room is rather desolate, they're continuing to talk a lot about Sanders. So here we are. He states
This is
that
why. Hold on, before you start, this is why teams didn't want to draft him. This right here, this whole thing, exactly why nobody wanted to
100%.
draft him.
100%.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No,
go ahead.
and you're right. And Sanders, he states that he's focused on the Browns and learning their playbook, not really where he was drafted at. He's kind of over it. He said, I was drafted. That's enough for me. And then I will say he did compare himself to Tom Brady in regards to the situation of draft capital. One of us had said this before, maybe multiple, or many of us have said this before, but I think this was the best case scenario for Sanders, is him getting drafted this late, because now it kind of puts a chip on his shoulder. It's a reality check to say you're not tough shit. And, like I mentioned, given the Browns quarterback room at the moment, it's not out of the realm of possibility where he's not starting for them at some point during the year.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And
But,
by the
it's
way,
gonna-
Tom Brady compared Shador to himself on a podcast.
Oh.
So Tom
True.
Brady said the same thing as well, where he's like, you get drafted where you get drafted. People get drafted at all points in the draft and then have successful or bad careers. It's all about what you do, what you make of the situation. So, and all the stuff that Shador is saying, as annoying as it is when he opens his mouth, he's saying the right stuff. I mean, somebody's in his ear and he's saying all the right things. Like, hey, doesn't matter where I got drafted. I'm here and I'm here to play football. So let's
Yeah,
just see what happens.
I saw it one of the media sessions. This is so dumb, but they were like, "Why is Dylan Gabriel getting more reps at quarterback right now at the ones?" And it's like, because we drafted him first. Like, this is like, why else did we do it? I agree. I know we've said it, and Slaps, I agree with you 100%. It's the best thing for him. It gives him a chance to just focus on what he needs to do. Athletes say it all the time. It's not about the first contract; it's about the second one, and that's what this is all about. Like, whether it's with the Browns or not, I think he has a lot to prove. I think he is talented enough to do it. If you look around the league at some of these guys, like yeah, he could do it. It's just, can he put in the work to do it? And that's that's what we're gonna find out for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, right after the draft, he was in the locker room. He was making face with the Browns. He was in the community. He was doing the things that you want to see out of him, and whether it was for PR or whether it's because, you know, that's just who he is. I kind of lean more towards PR perhaps, but regardless, he's doing the right things. So I guess, and we're going to continue. This is not going to be the last time his name comes up here on this podcast. I imagine it's probably going to be a continuation of this conversation throughout this entire offseason.
We should get Mel Kiper on just to see.
Yeah, just get Mel on here and just be like, hey,
I might have cut out there. I was just, this is terrible radio. Am I back?
You're kind of back.
You're kind of back.
You look like shit.
Hold.
But
I think you look great.
Your camera's okay.
You're back. All right.
My whole thing just wiped out and came back.
This week, Giants first-round pick Abdul Carter asked 2 former NFL players with retired jerseys if he could use their numbers. The players you ask, Lawrence Taylor at number 56 and Phil Simms, number 11. He was denied on both and is now picking an available number, very obviously. Why? Like, what makes you think you can just come in and just be like, hey, man, you think I can wear your jersey? Like, we cool with that?
Okay. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Why not?
That's just disrespectful.
Reach out to the legend of your organization and say, "Hey, man, feel free to say no. Feel free to shoot me down. I'm just taking a shot in the dark. But you think you could unretire your jersey for your boy? You think I can? Think I could rock this? Why not?
I just think it's somewhat disrespectful to think that you can just go at, especially Lawrence Taylor. That's like that's like going to the Colts and being like, is Manning's 18? Is that negotiable? Or
is that off the table?
Is that a hard pass? I think. And I was thinking about this in a few other areas, and I don't know if you guys feel the same thing, but even like, because I was brought up how I watch a lot of NBA, it's like, just like a lot of I feel like disrespect to players of the past. They're like, they're not that good. That didn't happen. They suck. We're the best. And it's like, all right, like, chill out. Yes, very obviously time marches on and things get better. Like, very obviously, if our army today went to the Roman army back then, we would just kick the shit out of them. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, like, in the moment, how good were they? And those players were really freaking good compared to their peers. Like, it's just, I think it's super disrespectful to somebody that's retired to be like, hey, man, like, you weren't that great. Like, slide that number this way. It's like, I have yet to play it down. What are you even talking about? You haven't done anything.
I don't want to derail us again, but I really like what you just said. And I want to... I say I don't want to derail us, but I'm going to derail us right now. You know the conversation we had about the 100-man versus gorillas?
Yeah.
How many Roman soldiers you think could take down a predator drone?
None. You know how many javelins and arrows they'd be throwing? They'd miss every hit of them.
Well, they'd hit eventually. You know, if you put 2 million Roman soldiers there, they're probably going to hit one arrow.
Maybe an archer, maybe a couple of archers could get it if they
a couple.
Yeah.
No,
maybe.
You need a shit ton of archers. And
how
many?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
like, casualties would you have because of you shot your own army because the arrow comes back down and kills one of your comrades?
Quick question. Does this drone have grenades it's dropping?
Well, I assume
I would say
a predator drone's got missiles.
It's got everything. Okay. Because I was watching. This is totally off topic too, but some videos popped up on Reddit, and I was watching combat footage of this drone dropping. It was like night vision dropping like grenades on people. I was like, oh fuck. That's terrifying. So I guess if that is on the table and it's at night, there's a 0% chance the Romans do anything.
50 million Romans versus one predator drone with unlimited.
I would still probably take the predator drone.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think so too.
You got one psychopath in some Air Force base in Arizona that's like, oh yeah, this is my shit.
50 million? Could you imagine if it's like a few weeks have gone by, you're like, God, this thing's still trying to get me. Oh, okay. Man. I don't even know what we're talking. Oh, the jersey. Yeah, anyways.
Okay,
so Carter should totally just shut up.
On the jersey thing, I don't remember who it was. There was some pundit who said, why doesn't he very obviously appreciates the work of Lawrence Taylor and Phil Simms. Why doesn't he combine the numbers? Go with 51. That number's available. It's a classic number. That's cool.
That's
like, just go with that. I think that's a great solution.
I did too. Maybe he'll choose 51.
God, Matt,
maybe
this episode, Matt's so wise.
Well,
I'm wise every episode.
Nah.
Yeah.
He gets in.
Don't eat Sonic. Stay off the rollerblades.
Yeah. I like the rollerblades.
Roman Catholics get a new pope, and that's just
Yeah.
Yeah. My guy.
From Chicago.
Chicago.
Panthers' second-year running back Jonathan Brooks was placed on the PUP list and will not play the entire 2025 season due to his second ACL tear, which happened in Week 14 of last year. That's tough.
Yikes.
He was a rookie last year. He kind of started to get some reps, and then the reason he didn't start the season is primarily because he tore his ACL, and then he did it again in Week 14. So for anybody that is homing Jonathan Brooks on their dynasty teams, that would be me.
Yikes.
I'll
What are
reach
you gonna
out to
do?
the Pope and tell him to send some good vibes. over
What am I gonna do?
Jonathan Brooks.
Yeah, what are you going to do with him? What's your plan?
I'm going to try and offer him in a trade to you, Alan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll take him.
Okay,
I can
perfect.
fix him. I'm like Jerry.
Gabe Davis, he was cut by the Jaguars after inking a 3-year, $39 million contract just last year in 2024. It is worth noting he is visiting the 49ers today. But would anybody want to guess his stats for the 10 games he played in 2024? Anybody have any ideas?
He only played 10 games?
Played 10 games.
Did he take vacation during the year? Or
I
some
yeah, I think
PTO to
so.
burn?
Those must have been on Peacock. I didn't see those.
I don't know, man. Did he break 400 yards receiving?
No.
10 games.
No.
That's so...
No. No. I'll tell you this. Does anybody want to guess the amount of catches he had?
I think you mean the number of catches.
Or yeah.
Under 20?
You're close.
22.
I was going to say 24.
He had 20 receptions for 239 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Pretty good.
39 million.
That was like a half of Jamar Chase one of these weeks.
Yeah.
What you just read was like seriously a halftime stat, I feel like, for Jamar Chase.
Yeah. Freaking nuts. And it's kind of funny because the Jaguars did this with Christian Kirk a couple years ago as well, and paid him an absorbent amount of money. And Christian Kirk came from the Cardinals. He was a decent wide receiver,
decent.
but he was not worth the contract that the Jaguars were housing. So all's to say, if you're a wide receiver, go play for or at least go sign with the Jags. You don't even have to play with them, and they'll sign you for a shit ton of money.
Yeah, you won't be playing much longer. I still blame Christian Kirk's still that butterfly effect of why Tyreek Hill left the Chiefs, because he reset the market and then everybody got up in arms.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now Tyreek Hill
that
keeps
crazy?
trying to throw his kids off a balcony, so I'm kind of glad that he's in the past for us.
I don't know. I can fix him.
Yeah, I mean, you guys fixed Kareem Hunt, so maybe.
True. Well, we
we
fixed
sent him
Kareem
away
Hunt by
we
kicking
s-
him off the team.
True. We sent him to Cleveland for rehab and then brought him back when he was ready.
So
Is that what Justin Tucker needs too?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
what happens when you fuck up. This is what you have to deal with.
We'll send you to Cleveland.
It's like a scared Cleveland is like the scared straight of the NFL.
Oh my god.
It's pretty accurate, actually. And Scotty, do you have an announcement here for maybe a new favorite NFL player?
Dude.
Is that right?
I fell in love over the weekend. I want you guys to know that. Don't tell
Should
my
I tell your wife? Okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
Mom's the word.
Okay. I would like you guys to do this for me. Pull up your search engines. I'll throw the image on the
risky.
episode so the yeah.
What's your history?
Let me clear my browser.
You don't gotta show us. Just do it on your own time.
This is fine then.
Yeah. You can just
No, I want to.
scroll-
I kind of want to see. What are you
just
into
cycle
these
through
days?
the anime porn. What do they call that? Hentai?
Yeah. I
Oh,
think so.
Tentacle
like
porn.
you had to ask.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one.
You're like, what is this? Unties?
As
Okay,
Scotty's
okay.
closing out his fucking tabs.
Yeah.
What is this?
Are you
Yeah.
guys ready?
Yeah. No, I've been
How long
waiting.
do you think
yeah.
it takes me to open a browser?
Well, I don't know. You've been talking. It's like you've been
I
stalling.
gotta download Chrome. Hold on. I gotta call the Geek Squad at Best Buy to get this sorted
You
out.
gotta reach out to Cox Communications.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
I want you to search the name Tugg, Tugg Buck.
Oh yeah, I seen this guy.
Yeah.
Tugg
Many of
Buck.
our hardcore college football fans likely already know him because he seems like he's probably a
Yeah,
legend.
he looks sick.
Oh, this guy.
This man is the perfect football player. There's nothing about him that isn't perfect. He's got the mullet. He's got the mustache. He wears number 69.
That's
He
not even
is-
a mustache. That's
He's
like
got a
Fu-
Kid Rock tattoo.
Yeah, he's got like a Fu Manchu
Oh my
situation.
god, that Kid Rock tattoo covers his whole arm.
That's sick. I'm gonna get that.
He's got a giant arm sleeve of Kid Rock. He's
does. You
the
didn't see
perfect
that?
football player.
Perfect.
A hulking
This dude is
behemoth out of
sick.
Idaho State. Initially projected as a mid-round pick, Bucks draft stock plummeted after an incident at
Oh no! What did he do?
Please say it's a local bar.
at a Hooters in December.
Oh, this is perfect. This dude's a legend. This dude is a
An
legend.
event now referred to by locals as the Wing Massacre. I don't know if this is real or not. Tugg's involvement in a bar brawl reportedly resulted in catastrophic property damage, multiple hospitalizations, and tragedy.
believe it.
It's on the sports memery, so I'm gonna presume probably not.
No.
I really
Oh
want
yeah,
that
no.
to be
Then they.
Add it to
I'll
the
just keep
lore.
reading this.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah,
this is all
this-
true. If you're listening, this is all true.
Okay, I'm gonna keep reading it.
It's good.
Multiple hospitalizations and tragically the death of several rare and exotic birds that were present and reportedly part of Buck's entourage. Among them was an ostrich named Lorraine, whom Buck, in a tearful confession to authorities during his arrest, identified as his legal wife. Scouts has long praised Buck's raw physical dominance, his iconic mullet and handlebar mustache combo, and his full-sleeve Kid Rock tattoo, an artistic decision he made hastily during the summer of 2020 that he's both proud of and very defensive about. However, his mounting list of off-the-field had teams increasingly concerned. Despite the mounting red flags and his uncomfortable affinity towards birds, the Vikings front office chose to focus on Buck's raw, untamed potential. The GM compared him to, quote, a human monster truck that just needs emotional counseling after the loss of his loving wife. Coach Kevin O'Connell optimistically noted, if we can keep him and his birds out of the bars, we believe we found ourselves an absolute unit. Buck himself addressed the media during his introductory press conference, passionately declaring, I miss my wife so much, and I swear until my last breath, I will hunt the people responsible for her death. He then produced a framed 16 by 20 portrait of his late Lorraine, kissed it open mouth for an uncomfortably long 3.5 minutes, and exited the stage. You still stake your flag that this is true?
Yeah.
No, I just looked up. He doesn't even. He's not even real. He's not even an actual player.
What?
Damn, Scotty.
The whole thing is a ruse. I'm
What?
reading. It says what has likely convinced some Vikings fans that Buck was an actual player, aside from the AI generated image, looks immaculate. It's how the team's been conducting the offseason.
Scotty, you didn't even do any real
Let
research
me
on
tell
your
you something.
favorite NFL players.
Let me
So
tell you
bad.
something. When I said I
We'll
fell
keep
in
him
love,
alive.
love is blind. Love is blind to reality. Love is blind to memes on the internet. I don't know. I just saw him and thought, this is the most wonderful human being I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's
in my
not
life.
real. He's not real.
I should have known. Nobody's this
Viking,
perfect.
We could
No,
go down
I-
a rabbit hole and say Scotty's in love with AI.
Yeah, he just got taken. This is
That's
like
how scary the AI can be these days.
I want
Yeah.
Tugg Buck
Scotty,
to be real though.
the oldest curmudgeon in a 30-year-old body I've ever met,
Yeah.
fell in love with a fake AI generated
Okay.
Tugg Buck.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is like when
we're-
a grandma gets scammed by the Somalian prince or whatever, and they email her and tell her. Yeah, this is
your
exactly
Somali-
that.
Okay, but here's what we're gonna do for the season. We're gonna talk about Tugg Buck, and we're gonna talk about him like he's actually doing things, and we'll
Yeah.
just pick up a stat line for him, and then we'll announce how he's like defensive player of the year. Like we'll give him a whole,
Yeah,
a whole run.
a whole character
yeah,
arc.
he's not. I'm sorry, Scotty. He is not a real person.
That is so.
He does look
disappointing.
super cool though. He
The
he's,
image.
He's
I
kind of
got,
like your NFL Easter Bunny.
Yeah, now that I look at the image, there are quite a few red flags, but I couldn't get
You're
over
blind.
how
You're
amazing
just-
it was.
Yeah, you couldn't get over it.
Love is
That is-
blind.
I might change
I
this
would-
to my profile picture on X.com, the everything app.
Yeah, this
That's
is
really
hilarious.
I'm this is hilarious. This whole this
not
Scotty had a
even
note in here
real.
announcing his new NFL player that's not even real.
I shouldn't have said anything
You
and just
shouldn't
keep
have.
it going. And I should have asked him how he's doing in camp. Be like, I don't know. I can't find him.
Scotty, have you checked on Tugg lately?
Yeah, I would have just told you he's doing great. I would have never found out.
That I was gonna say though, he looks like before we knew he was fake. I was gonna say like when you used to mess around on Madden and just make like ridiculous players. Like he
Yeah.
looks like how I would have made my quarterback in Madden.
450 pounds, a
Yeah,
Kid
just like
Rock
this
tattoo, and a
huge dude
handlebar.
with sleeves and a mullet.
I do have to say, I didn't notice the Kid Rock sleeve. That would have been a bit major red flag had I noticed that. Like, there's no fucking
Why?
way this guy got a Kid Rock sleeve.
Oh, that's the most believable.
Yeah,
part to
if
me.
you look at that man, and
Nah,
that if Tugg Buck was real, I'd be like that That fits the persona
If
of
he
Tugg.
didn't have a Kid Rock sleeve, I would assume there was a Kid Rock tattoo somewhere on that body that I can't see.
Yeah, he's got a Kid Rock tramp stamp.
Yeah, right on his waist.
You should start. Here's what we should do to make some money here for the
Tugg Buck
podcast.
jerseys.
Yeah, no, do Tugg Buck OnlyFans and just get like, just do like Chat GPT images of him doing stuff and sell
Like
them online.
feet pics and
That's
like
actually-
risque.
That's actually pretty genius.
It is.
See,
I don't know if I have enough room on my OnlyFans with all the hentai, though.
you got to trim down. Your loyal followers are going to be confused when it
Cox
switches to this
Communications only
guy.
gives me so much data.
They know the mustache. They're going to be confused when they're like, "Damn, you let yourself go. Like, what is happening? What is?
Yeah.
Who's this guy?"
How much
Yeah.
weight did you gain?
He got way hotter.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Well, Scotty, with Tugg Buck being put back into
many-
the closet,
How many stages of grief? How many stages of grief are there?
I don't
I
know.
think 5.
Is it 5? All
How
right.
many stages of grief?
Oh, I got a while before I get through those, so maybe we just don't talk about this anymore.
This
Are
is
there?
hilarious.
There are the 5 stages of grief is most commonly known. There is no single universally accepted number of stages, though. So, Scotty, you have really as long as you want, I guess.
Ambiguous.
Yeah, you can do
Yeah.
whatever you want.
I'm on stage 777.
Dr.
Grief
Dakari
process.
Quimby expanded to include 7.
Oh, good job, Doc.
So, but the 5 most well known is denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance.
Okay, I'm still on anger, I think.
Oh, so you're past denial?
I cycled through denial real quick.
Well, yeah, I think when we found out he wasn't real, that was a pretty tall tale sign that you're going to have to move on.
Yeah, I wanted to fight it for a second.
Oh,
I
this is the
couldn't.
best.
Yeah, there's
the
no
best
fight.
thing
There's no
ever.
denying
This is great.
the Tugg Buck isn't real.
So the anger is just real. I got to go find whoever I saw this picture from on the internet.
Oh
and
my
I'm gonna
God.
find
Oh
their
my
address.
lord! You could probably bring George Pickens with you, and you could use some of that aptitude test for it.
Yeah, do that.
Should,
Yeah,
like,
is this
should
a
we
real
beat the shit
player?
out of this man who convinced me that Tugg Buck was
Yeah.
my new favorite NFL player?
George, hypothetically, if you found out your favorite NFL player was a figment of your fucking imagination, what would you do?
What would you do if he wasn't real? I'm so sad. I feel like I need to make you a Tugg Buck Vikings jersey now.
I would actually, if you guys go to Build-A-Bear Workshop often, because I would like a Tugg Buck
I haven't been in a while.
Build-A-Bear.
What are you luring kids? Why are you at
No, it's for me.
Build a Bear
pervert.
often? Why you Build a Bear often?
I'm not. I asked how often you guys are. That's why I'm asking you to get it for me. I assumed you go there.
Also, what are you going to do with this bear?
Hold it.
That's business. That's his business. Do whatever he wants with that damn thing.
Yeah, make
Yeah,
sure
turn
it's
the
hollow
camera off.
for no reason.
I do think we should get a Tugg Buck jersey though.
Yeah.
Once we have a studio going, I think we
This
should
is-
frame and
this is
hang
my
a
new
Tugg Buck
favorite.
jersey.
This is my new favorite thing.
That's the only thing you added to show notes, and it's even more funny because he's just not real. That's the only thing that you added. You highlighted it and everything. You said, "Scotty, I have a new
Well, I
favorite
wanted to
NFL
make
player, and I
sure
want
you
to."
guys saw it.
Oh my god! I mean, the picture's great, but I mean, I had seen it, but I guess I glossed over it. So maybe a small part of me thought it was real too. But
Yeah.
I didn't crown him my
you were
favorite
fooled
player.
too. I'm not alone in this.
You're not. You're not. It's just hilarious.
Oh my god!
You just
that
gotta fall
is-
on the sword.
This might be my favorite podcast
I'm
episode.
angry.
This is so
Uh,
good.
yeah, well, you're in second stages of grief. All right.
Oh my god! All right,
Let's
last
pivot
topic?
over. The last topic we have here to discuss today, gentlemen, is which NFL bandwagon would you guys want to hitch your ride onto for the 2025 season? So I brought 6 teams to the table here. 1, 2, 3. I brought 4. Somebody brought a 5th one, so they added it to it. So we have 5 teams here. If you wanted to get on the bandwagon, I did this. I was notorious for this. I did this with the Lions a few years ago, and they made a deep run, and they were exciting and shiny. And so I'm going to give each of us here the opportunity. You can pick an alternate. Obviously, the Chiefs is always going to be first for you guys. But if you wanted to pick an alternate here to kind of root for on the sidelines, and we won't call you a bandwagon. You guys did with me for the Lions, and that's okay. I'm willing to be the first to spearhead this. But between the Patriots, Bears, Cardinals, Colts, and Broncos, any of those interest you to latch a ride onto to bandwagon for maybe some future success here in this upcoming season? And this doesn't mean that they have to go to the Super Bowl. This doesn't mean they have to make a deep playoff run. It just means they have to show some signs that there is
spicy.
there's a breath of fresh air the franchise is moving in the right direction, and there's some optimism for the future.
Do you feel, as a Cardinals fan, that there's optimism for your future for the Cardinals? Should they be on this list, is what I'm asking?
I'll be the first to admit I didn't actually. I found this list, and I thought it was good to discuss, and I didn't throw the Cardinals on there.
But do you think they should be on the list?
I think there's potential, and that's really, I do this every year, and it scares the shit out of me. I do this every year. We've done some things offensively. We haven't done jack shit, but defensively, we've done quite a bit on our defensive front where it's gotten me kind of like maybe excited, like maybe just, and that's the scary part for me because this is my team, so obviously I cannot pick the Cardinals.
I'm with you. Hey, I'm with you because I also think. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr., before he even went into the draft, before his senior year at Ohio State, I was like, this dude's going to be electric. And I still think he has that, and I don't even think he's scratched that surface. Like, I don't think you've gotten what you wanted out of him yet either.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I think there's a lot of optimism there because I do think there's a lot of room for growth across the board. Like, if they all hit their potential, like where people think they could be, it could be pretty fortuitous for you.
Yeah.
Well, I think
I have mine.
I'm always on board with the Cardinals. I've been rooting for the Cardinals since we started this whole podcast because I think it'd be cool if they were good. Unfortunately, hasn't happened.
We haven't been.
Side note.
Yeah, good.
The Pope stuff when they said the Cardinals pick is in and the Pope was announced was like some of my favorite memes.
Yeah,
ever.
those were good.
I was dying. Go ahead.
So with that said, I'm gonna scratch the Cardinals off the list because I'm already kind of on their bandwagon a little bit just because of my boy Slapdog.
Thanks, man.
It's obviously not going to be the Broncos because that would be insane. The Patriots, I still have residual hatred for the Patriots, so I'm not going with them. I think I'm just going to go with the Bears. I think the Bears have the most potential if Caleb Williams doesn't suck, so I think that one would... if I had to bet on which one of these teams was going to be elite the fastest, I think the Bears probably have the best chance. But
so you're going to root for them this 2025 season.
I was rooting for them a little bit last year. I mean, I wanted them to be good.
But you have to I think what Slaps is saying is you have to get emotionally invested now.
Like I did with Dan Campbell and the Lions.
You have to get in the weeds and be like, I know I'm adopting them. They're like a stepchild to you.
Yeah, it's still going to be the Bears, though. I'm not doing that with the Patriots, and I'm not doing that with the Colts, and I'm definitely fucking not doing that with the Broncos. So out of this list, the Bears are the easy one for me.
Okay. That's fair.
Okay.
I was between the Patriots and the Bears, and I didn't think about the Patriots like that, but more of just like, I think Drake May is going to take a step forward, but it's hard for me to pick anybody in the AFC. AFC is just a mess. It's just so many teams that could do something during that time, where the NFC is, you have like the Eagles at the very top, which seem they've like just sucked and absorbed all the talent of the NFC into one team. So it's like anybody else could make it. And then if you just catch them on an off day, I am picking the Bears, but for another reason, we just talked about it. The Pope's from Chicago. I'm playing. I'm going the Pope route because I want to be there for the memes when they start doing well, and then people talking about the miracles that the Pope is performing. So I'm picking the Bears. One, because smart NFC. I think they have a good shot. But two, I'm here for the memes because if they get really good all of a sudden, or Caleb Williams throwing for like 50 touchdowns, there's going to be some like angels in the outfield / Pope / whatever memes that are going to be coming out of the woodwork. So
yeah, we got to get Yeti rolling on those. Like we need to have some booked.
Yeah, for sure.
Schedule them. That'd be funny.
Just have them like pre-scheduled 2 months out, and then just randomly like the Bears lose, and it's like the Pope did a miracle, and it's like no, that's just Sunday for the Bears. I did this last year with the Colts. The Colts were kind of my bandwagon-esque team last year. Did not pan out, and I was excited and optimistic. I thought Richardson would kind of take a step forward, and instead he took some steps to the bench. It was tough. So I'm going to scratch the Colts off my list. I'm already a Cardinals fan, so I can't really choose them as a bandwagon because that's my team. So that leaves me the Broncos, the Bears, and the Patriots. I can't root for the Broncos because I hate Sean Payton and I think he's a scumbag. So that's that's an easy out for me. And it leaves the Patriots and the Bears. And you both bring up really good arguments. You both bring up really good arguments here. You guys both bring up tremendous arguments.
Yeah, but you love Mike Vrabel, though. That's what's going to draw you in, huh?
I really like Mike Vrabel, and I do think Drake May is going to take even further steps this season to solidify himself as the franchise quarterback there and be a great outlook for that franchise. However,
Mm.
I kind of align with Scotty in the fact that I don't think I can ever root for the Patriots given the Tom Brady era and just that it's
true.
really hard for me to just be like, you know what, I'm going to root for that team. I kind of just root for their downfall all the time. Gentlemen, I think we're a bandwagon Bears podcast.
All right,
this season.
Well, and here's the other thing about the Patriots is that what's the Patriots owner again? Robert Kraft. He's like the Jerry Jones of owners that aren't Jerry Jones. Like he's like right there.
That's a good
If
look.
Jerry Jones didn't exist, Robert Kraft would be Jerry Jones.
Yeah, he's like in line to be the next Jerry Jones. They're like the NFL's grooming him to be the next Jerry Jones.
Yeah, no, that is a good point. So it's got to be the Bears.
Yeah, also Boston sports fans are no bueno. They're kind of like Philly sports fans.
Yeah.
Like,
see, and that's a nice thing about Bears fans is they'll most likely welcome anybody because they've been bad for so long that they're like somebody is who we are, like who the Chicago Bears are.
I don't know. I think they might take the opposite approach. Like,
you think so?
We've been bad for so long, and now we get Caleb Williams and some stars, and now you want to be a fan. You fake.
I'm just here for the Pope. I'm taking the Pope route.
The Bears have won the offseason for the last 2 or 3 years in a row. It's been 3 years now. The Bears unanimously have won the offseason for the last 3 years. And the train has continued into this offseason where the Bears have won this offseason and they're supposed to be great. That's how it has been.
What about the Browns?
What about the Browns?
They won the
Browns
offseason.
haven't won. No, they did not.
Sanders.
No. The Bears have won the offseason. Find me a team that has done better in the offseason than the Bears. And for the last 3 years, it's been the Bears over and over again. And then they get on the field and then it's just been sad.
Nope. We are a Bears
no
podcast.
longer.
We do
But
not
no
talk
longer.
like that. I am going to go place a future bet for the Bears right now.
I'm in. I'll do
They
that too.
have Jesus Christ on their side. What are we talking about? If this,
Amen. Hallelujah.
I believe this is going to work. This is going to work. The Pope is going to be
We
sitting
believe.
in Vatican City, and he's going to be watching his NFL Red Zone, and he's going to be like, yes! And every time the Bears win, they're going to go to that conclave room, and it's going to be white smoke billowing out again. But
Alan, I got a question as a Catholic, actually.
What?
When I go to confession, do you think I need to confess to my sins of just now being a Bears fan? Do you think they're going to hold that against me?
I think you should address it. It should be 5 Hail Marys, but you should just at least
not too bad.
Just address it. You know what I mean?
You
Just
should
be
also
like, hey.
address Tugg Buck.
Yeah. Tugg Buck's
I feel
probably
like I'm
going
the
to get you
victim
worse.
in that one. I think other
Yeah.
people need to go to confession for that.
They actually might send you to like counseling just for yourself. It's you and just be like,
Might need it.
We need to talk through this. You should be fine though.
Yeah, I think the Bears. I think we're a Bears
All
podcast
right, Bears.
this season.
Alert MK. Let them know on the podcast.
We're
we all picked the Bears as our bandwagon team this year.
It's the bandwagon team. We're all rooting for the Bears. Go
I'm in.
Bears. Bear
Let's do
down.
it. Go Bears.
Bear down.
I love Mike Ditka and his mustache. He kind of stole that from me, though.
I love Chicago dogs.
I do love a good Chicago hot dog.
I
Do you like Portillo's?
I love Portillo's.
Portillo's so good.
It's bomb.
Love Portillo's.
that sandwich with all the gravy.
Oh,
Get it
Scotty
soaked.
might not like it though because it's kind of greasy, and we know how he feels about greasy.
Yeah, he eats it in his car
sandwiches.
though, like a insane person.
Well, you were talking about Sonic. Sonic
you
is
can take
the
Sonic
one place
to your house.
But they have stuff. You literally the whole shtick is you eat in your car. They rollerblade to your car and give you your food.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't do Sonic like that. I just roll through and roll back.
Drive through, grab and go.
Yeah,
but I do eat it in the car sometimes.
Yeah,
I would say majority. I would say like 90% of the time I eat my fast food in the car.
I don't remember the last time I got fast food and didn't eat it in my car.
Really?
Yeah, dude. My bank
You guys just
that I
crushing
go
that in your-
to, there's a Sonic right there, and occasionally I'll swing by, get a Diet Coke, maybe add some flavor in there, and there is people just fucking chilling in the stalls, just having a good old
People
time.
just chilling. I guess so.
Yeah,
I feel
It's
like the
weird.
world's too busy to just sit at a Sonic stall.
maybe
Sometimes
we're
you need
missing
30
out.
minutes to
Maybe
just
we
relax.
should. Maybe we should film a podcast episode in our car. at a
Let's do
Sonic
that. Hey, when you
drive-thru.
come back,
We
let's
should
go to
do that.
Sonic and let's just sit there like high school days and just like
Yeah,
chill.
We're gonna rate all their food, scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a lot of food,
dude.
but I'm here for it.
I'm notorious because this is hilarious because the kids love ice cream and I can't do ice cream. It gives me the little tummy rumbles and then talk
Yeah.
about explosive. It gets bad. So
Yeah.
there's sometimes I'll go and I'll order like a breakfast burrito and it's like 9 at night. It's freaking hilarious because every time I do it, we're sitting there for like 15 minutes because they very obviously put all that away, but it's still on the menu. So some poor
this-
bastard had to
fucking
take
assholes
everything out
Getting
to
a
make me
sausage breakfast burrito
Yeah,
at 9:30
this
at
is a bomb,
night.
It's like
They're pretty
90%
good.
spit at that point. They just hate you.
Hogging loogies in
That's what the
burrito.
flavor is. That's what the flavor is.
But
All
at
right.
least they get to rollerblade to your car, and they're really excited about that.
No,
I
I'm
bet.
at the drive-through.
Oh yeah. Never
He
mind.
he doesn't sit, remember?
No,
He doesn't know what it's like.
Yeah,
Life's
and
too
then he waits,
fast.
He waits to eat it till he gets home.
Do you wait
No,
till you
crazy.
drive
that
home?
that gets
That gets
no
consumed.
bites. I deep throat that thing in front of everybody.
Suck that whole
Your
bitch
kids are in the
down.
back seat and ice
Yeah.
cream, and you're just like,
Yeah. One of the
You're
guys
just
in stalls like,
double
whoa,
fisting a
whoa.
burrito.
Where's that guy? Who's that guy?
You got to drive with your knee.
you got an OnlyFans, pal.
Oh, Christ. Oh, hey,
All
we
right.
have another schedule release. Real
Oh,
quick.
alright.
Scotty,
Yeah,
this
breaking
one's just
news.
for you.
Breaking news.
The Chiefs get the Broncos at home on Christmas night.
I like that.
I
like
really-
that.
I don't
like
know
that.
how I feel about the Chiefs playing on
I like
Christmas.
that.
I don't like it, man. I want to enjoy my Christmas.
I
don't have to
feel
worry
like
about-
it stresses me out, especially when it's at night, because then you got the whole day worried.
Well, here's the
about it.
thing. It's May 12th. You have plenty of time to get pre-stressed out. You can preheat all your stress for that Christmas game.
I'm gonna be focused on the Tugg Buck stuff. I can't handle both those things.
He's
I
still
can't
only
divert
on the
my
second stage
attention.
of grief, Alan. Give the man some
Okay,
time.
we'll talk about this later. Then.
All right.
All right, cool. All right, well, that's all the time that we have. Appreciate all you brainiacs jumping in and listening to us banter, chatter, and talk some NFL. But it's time to get out of here. Before we do, have to give a shout out to our Fantasy Brains podcast. Go check them out on Thursdays. They are doing phenomenal work, and go follow them. They're making a bunch of clips and some shorts and all that kind of good stuff over on YouTube, TikTok. Give us a follow. They are under the Leather Brains platform, so if you find us, you're going to find them. And hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button. Tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell your best door neighbor guy, tell everybody. Yeah. Your nanner?
Your Mima.
Yeah,
Or
tell the
Meemaw?
Meemaws.
Tell
Let's be a
Meemaws and
Meemaw
Peepaws.
podcast. And tell all Bears fans that we are officially a Bears podcast for this upcoming season. So appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Let's get the heck out of here. We
R.
Out.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you tune into our new releases every week on your favorite podcast app. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and check out leatherbrains.com for all of your fantasy football needs. And remember, Brainiacs, a championship should be more than a fantasy.